everybody. My name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. And today we're talking about some of the best places to work remotely located in Northwest Arkansas. Not like coffee shops, not like, co-working spaces. That's for a different video. But today, the best places that aren't those things. So let's talk about that. But before we begin, if you could like this video and also subscribe, that'd make the world of difference. I try to produce as much content as humanly possible about Northwest Arkansas. Also, I do have a 3-day itinerary, so maybe you're thinking about moving down to Northwest Arkansas and you're realizing there's so much to do down here. There's a 3-day itinerary link down below for you, so it just makes the traveling down here and just figuring out everything down here so much easier because there really is so much to do. All right, and the first interesting place when it comes to co-working, kind of remote working, obviously we know coffee shops, we have those places. We will talk about that in a different video. But today's video is just mostly like interesting places to work in Northwest Arkansas that are kind of, that you can work remotely. And the first one is called the Hive. Now the Hive is kind of like this business, hotel, restaurant thing in downtown Bentonville. And so if you go to the Hive, it's located literally right off the square, and it's a hotel obviously right off the square next to the closest slaughter pen, which is the trail entrance for most of the trails around the area. But it's really interesting because it's very business centric. A lot of business people end up, renting out there, having hotels there, and there's a lot of conferences that happen there as well. So it's really cool places. When you walk in there, there's a car that's like covered in literally pennies on the front there, so it's very noticeable, and they have very, we'll say, interesting, modern, unique art inside this actual building itself. So every single room itself is for the hotel wise is very decorated and unique in that aspect. But going back to the co-working space, kind of remote working space, there's a lot of areas around that in the actual restaurant business section. You can just hang out there and work remotely. Obviously, there's a restaurant there. There's a big place for people to hang out. There's chairs, tables, stuff like that. It's very business centric. So if you are kind of looking to just get away from your home, if you do work remotely, definitely check out the Hive. Another cool thing, if you have kids, there's a splash pad right next to the Hive. So maybe you want to bring your kids, or you want to have, your spouse or your significant other show up later with kids. There's a splash pad right next door. There's a co-working space. Plus there's the pathways right there. So it's kind of a perfect area to kind of hang out, work, play, all in NWA. Also, number 2 is Thaden Field. Now, Thaden Field is also a restaurant called Luis, but they do have a lot of business-centric stuff there as well. So if you want to hang out there, kind of borrow the Wi-Fi, get out of the area a little bit, definitely check out Thaden Field. It's kind of in the center southern part of Bentonville, next to the Bentonville Airport. So Thaden Field is right on there. But they have a really cool space. It's won a bunch of architectural design awards, so it's a really cool place to hang out at. And so oftentimes people have memberships there, but sometimes you can get in there and just hang out there for a couple days, do some remote work, and then get out of there. But the really cool thing is they do have a membership for a lot more business-centric things there. So if you are interested in just like being there and being part of that community, definitely check out Thaden Field. But I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem to hang out there for a day or two, borrow the Wi-Fi, and just kind of get out of your home, so to speak, for some different remote work. Hey, before we go on to the next point, if you are looking to move to Northwest Arkansas and you're curious about like homes, prices, rentals, all the different things, I have something called Instant Home Updates linked down below. So if you're looking to kind of keep on top of prices, but you want the most instantaneous pricing, because obviously things go around here very quickly, if you're looking for a home for sale or for rent, there's Instant Home Updates right below. So go ahead and click on that and just add the criteria and I'll set you up right away. Also, I do have a weekly email. So if you're looking to kind of keep on top of like what's going on in Northwest Arkansas, there's kind of all the really cool events happening here. Obviously, it might give you a little FOMO because you're not here at the time. Definitely sign up for our email below. Just once a week email is kind of keep you updated what's going on around Northwest Arkansas. Also, it kind of gives you a recap of all the YouTube videos that I send out every single week. Also, number 3 is the Greenway Office Park in Bentonville, and that's located on one of my favorite sections of Bentonville. It's right behind the Momentary, so love the Momentary, and the Momentary also has the 8th Street Market over there, so it's really close to food. Plus the Momentary, they have all the concerts right there. Plus, you're right down the street from Airship Coffee, but that Greenway Parkway area office is kind of like a hub for a lot of new startup companies there. So the university's parked there, the Bentonville Economic Development's parked there, the Bentonville Film Festival's parked there. There's a lot of offices all in that whole area. So it's really cool is that there's a couple open area workspaces for people to hop in there and hang out. They do a lot of business talks there for Startup Junkie, and the Million Coffee Cups is there. It's basically just every single Wednesday. It's just for startup companies to come in there and talk about what they're doing. And it's also really cool. It's right next to the university part as well. So the university hangs out there. So there's gonna be a lot of people coming through there that are business centric. So it might be cool, like kind of a cool place to meet some friends as well. And also we're going down to Fayetteville. Startup Junkie in Fayetteville. It has an open office, meaning like you can come there, hang out there. They invite you to go out there and just do some remote work. A lot of times what they definitely encourage is if you have a startup or think about doing a startup or just want to be in a more open area for working, they are happy to accept you and just kind of like help you through some of the rings of, business growth. There's a lot of people that hang out there that are obviously in the Startup Junkie, meaning like they have their businesses funded by Startup Junkie or some seed funding from like other, investors, so to speak. So if you want to kind of get a business-centric area, definitely check out Startup Junkie in Fayetteville. They'll give you the Wi-Fi, hang out there, is kind of take a break away from different areas of NWA when it comes to co-working spaces. And last but certainly not least is the Exchange in Bentonville, which is also connected to Startup Junkie. So Center Space is located in Fayetteville, that's the Startup Junkie as well. And then we have the Exchange up in Bentonville, Startup Junkie as well. These are both free co-working spaces. They do ask that you are working at a startup or technology company, and they do take applications. But it would not be surprising if you go ahead and email them or just text them and be like, hey, do you mind if I hang out at your space for a couple days, borrow your Wi-Fi to kind of get out of the drums of working at home potentially. So feel free to reach out to them, ask them if that'd be something they'd be interested in. But those are just kind of cool places to hang out and work remotely around the whole NWA area. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Really appreciate you guys watching. Again, if you are thinking about moving down to Northwest Arkansas, download my 3-day itinerary link below. Maybe you're a adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you have kids, maybe you're a sightseer, maybe you're into sports. There's a 3-day itinerary link down below for you. Also, when you do come down here, definitely I can give you the $10 tour, kind of show you around the whole area. Plus, we can check out some homes for sale or for rent and see how far your dollar will go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from.